Spencer's opinion, obviously Aga up against Dani. Big one there, you can see Dani in the distance, Chris in the close cam. He's going to be playing up against Expectsporting as well, I believe. So real tense semi-finals. And as Spencer said, he feels that the PlayStation is actually a stronger side than the Xbox.
Yeah, I think the perspective we've come from is it's been more points to get through in these group stages. So Chris, I think the main thing going for him, he's not played against a lot of these players before. He's coming from, you could say, a different play style. The American style of FIFA, we saw it, me and Brandon last week in the Los Angeles qualifiers, the American qualifiers. A lot of people take long shots, a lot of people shoot from range, they cross the ball into the box. It's almost like a different way of playing FIFA completely. Ajax Dani, on the other hand, what a player he's been. Win after win after win. He does it on the biggest stages, and currently he's riding a huge wave of momentum coming into this semi-final. Yeah,
and Chris, of course, arguably had probably the best comeback, I would say. 3-1 down against Aga, remember. Came back, drew 3-3. But here he is. It is New York City Chris, picked up earlier on in the year, up against Dani, represented Ajax of Amsterdam. What a dream it would be for either of these to pick up a win here and reach the console final. Of course, the PlayStation being represented here. Early chance for Chris there. Now, both of these teams, both these players, I expect to see quite an explosive game here. We saw Dani, not afraid to take long shots. We saw Chris, very open play, very attacking style. Expect to see quite a lot of goals between these two, or they could just cancel each other out.
Yeah,
you never know when it works that way. Yeah,
it's quite a fascinating matchup, though. I said earlier, the play styles just completely clashing. Early chance. Kante flashing it wide, but I want to see how Chris, can he impose his will, his play style on this this semi-final. Obviously, Dani could say he's playing with a little bit less pressure. He's already got that place in the Grand Final, so is that a help or a hindrance?
Well, we'll see. Ronaldo with a questionable push there, managed to win the ball out though. Messi manages to slip it through to Modric, but Marcelo cuts out the pass, just playing it cool as you like out of the defences there, with a fairly heavy pass, but well controlled by Ronaldo. As Chris in the blue and red of New York City tries to push forward, but that's going to be easily cut out. So close for Suarez winning it off Dani there.
Yeah, mistakes. They changed the game completely. It's all about not making mistakes. You can have a mistake-free game. It almost sounds cliche, but you're pretty much going to win the game, because the way that the players stack up against each other, very similar teams, very similar play styles, you could say. Same formations, same rating of cards. There's not a lot to separate the two.
Offside.
Before the game starts, it's all about keeping your head, keeping calm. As Dean said, keeping composed in high-pressure situations. That's the main thing for these players.
And both of these are pretty tense, and we're hearing some shouting. You know, there's another semi-final going on. We'll have a look at that in just a moment. But as it is, Chris versus Dani remains at 0-0 here in the opening 15 minutes. Walker cuts it out. Let's have a look at it. It is Expectsporting getting himself a goal. The man could well make a big upset here. You know, we just heard Spencer talking about it. He reckons he could take down Aga. And as it is, it's standing that way. Aga from Paris Saint-Germain coming into this one as the biggest name, I would say.
Is it an upset, though, given the group stage standings? Expectsporting, unbeaten. I think he finished on, is it 13 points?
Yeah.
Top of the group. Actually picked Ajax to that top spot. So
it's based on goals scored.
Goals scored, yeah. So he's coming into this game against Aga completely, you could say, nerves-free. He's playing against maybe an idol, in his opinion. He wants to prove himself.
Well, Dani working that defence. You see the console working hard. That's just how much work you have to put into stop Chris coming through your defensive line there. Hard working. Quick across the ball, and you see there, that's actually a cancel pass, wasn't it? It was the cancel movement, which was sometimes you have to be very quick on to try and cancel it out. Modric trying to push on through. There's more goals coming in the other matchup that we're going to stick with here. We'll show you in just a second. Ronaldo trying to slip it through for Chris. Chris trying to work his way in. There's the shot from the other matchup as well. It's happening on both sides. Chris deflected. Expectsporting is 2-0 up on Aga. Remember, this is a two-legged affair. It will carry over in the next leg. It's not going to be away goals, but goals will carry over in aggregate format.
Yeah, it's a lot of FIFA left to play.
Yeah.
A 2-0 cushion, it isn't enough given how long these two players will be playing against each other for. It's all about keeping calm, keeping your head almost in this sort of semi-final, because you see all it takes is one move, maybe a shot on target to get that confidence up, and you're straight back in the game. What Aga needs to do now in that other game, keep calm, and he knows that he's got the quality to make a difference in that game.
Oh, Suarez maybe could have took it on. He put it back to Dele Alli. Tried to go for the 1-2. Wasn't to be.
Very similar goal to he nearly scored in the group stage there with a skill pass, Chris, back into his player. And
did that great little back heel.
Yeah,
beautiful, wasn't it? Back heel pass. Yeah, the old Danish affair. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of rivalry there. Obviously, Aga's been the big man from Denmark, represented his country for a long time. But Expectsporting has been going under the radar for a while. Certainly a very good player representing Bromby here. And a shot deflected into Courtois from Dani there. Still a quiet game here. We thought we'd see a high scorer, but it's still quiet. Yeah, no big mistakes made.
No big mistakes. We said it's either going one or two ways. There's going to be goals, 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 or it's going to be each other cancelling each other out. A very cagey stalemate affair, you could say. 35 minutes gone on the clock. That was what we've seen so far, but we need to remember this is a two-legged game. It's
3-0. I was watching that one. That was a fantastic goal. I'll try and get a look at that in a second. Ronaldo cutting through. Check that one out. Top bins. That was a beautiful strike from Messi. Expectsporting 3-0 up in that one. Aga's got to be careful he doesn't slide out of this game in the first half, let alone the first leg.
Yeah, it could be all away from him, given the second leg. If it's 3-4-0, how long has gone? 20, is it 35 minutes in that game? 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes. Very early, 3 goals.
30 minutes.
Meanwhile here, 39 minutes, we may get our first chance at a break here. Ronaldo gets ahead of his man, cuts inside nicely. Oh, he's just about to lay the pass off, but David Luiz of Chris took it off his toe. Dele Alli with an overhead through ball from Messi. Messi chasing onto it, cuts inside beautifully. Sergio Ramos stands his ground, though. The Real Madrid-Barcelona clash that will be happening in La Liga later this year happens already.
What a clash that's plans to be. Big question is who's going to come in for Neymar?
Well, that's the big question I think all the world media want to know as well, but we'll find that out as Barca look to Bayern. A long-range shot from Dani tests the hands of Courtois for a corner.
First real chance that we've seen so far. It fell to Ajax Dani. Corner whipped into that front post area, looking for the head. I think that was of Sergio Ramos again.
Modric back heel, almost found Ronaldo. Walker with the block shot, and now the counter-attack chance is on. Dele Alli to Kante, to Suarez, can't quite get it through to Messi. Sergio Ramos again has been pivotal so far for Dani, and that ball not going to run. It's half-time here as Chris and Dani end up tying 0-0. Just 3 shots in that first opener.
Very, very even game in that first half of the first leg. You need to remember it's a two-legged affair.
All right, you can see Expectsporting playing Aga is the other matchup, of course. Let's go through the goals for that one because you've been hearing goals, goals galore. It is a Danish affair. Who is going to be the big Dane that will reach the finals? Well, a solid finish from Ronaldo there.
Yeah, low driven across the goalkeeper, no danger from Ronaldo. Slots it past the goalkeeper. That was the first goal. I believe we've got another 2 to see.
Yeah, it's going to be, oh, wow, Neymar, that's an easy loss of possession there. It's a bit sloppy. Oh, no, rough defensive work from a man that prides himself on his defense, and it's a similar type of goal.
Low driven across the goalkeeper, no doubt from Ronaldo. I think he got a little touch on the way from David Luiz that did take it over De Gea's head, and this is a goal to make it 3.
This was a great goal. Ronaldo breaking through. Look at Messi. Messi's positioning. He's going to score the goal. Ronaldo's going to set him off. Little pass through. Thank you very much. Top corner.
Yeah, Messi, no doubt from that range. When you've got such a high-rated card, you almost what a finish that is. Finesse, well opened his body.
And now look at it. The start of the second half, we're just a couple of minutes in. It's 4-0 right now to Expectsporting. That is a very, very one-sided first leg. Aga is going to be distraught at how that one is going. He's got to start getting goals to just equalise the goal difference at some, to give himself a chance in the second leg, let alone get himself a victory.
Yeah, he just continued the way that he finished off in the group stage at Expectsporting. No real change of play, just continuing to score goals. And there were a reason that Ajax Dani said this is the player that he didn't want to face.
Yeah.
Because he's gone under the radar this year, representing Bromby, and what a player he is. This could be his big breakout moment in FIFA.
Absolutely. He's, and as I say, is a Danish man against his fellow countryman, who is the shining light in Denmark in terms of FIFA. It would certainly be a big, big advantage for him. So, here we are, Chris, still playing in the blue. I made a couple of changes, I saw, at half-time. Dani, of course, in the red and white of Ajax. And currently, it's his classed as Chris's home game, I guess, in the home kit. Messi holds it up. Beautiful slide ball for Dele Alli! And Chris breaks the deadlock in the 63rd minute. At last, it's Dele Alli again. One of the few players that uses him. The player of the season card, I believe.
Yeah, the team of the season, Dele Alli, 91 rated. You can see, though, the emotion, it's not there. Yeah. Chris, it's just all business.
He knows what it means. You know, while we're talking about 4-0 in the other game, 1-0, anything could happen here.
Yeah, and it's all up for grabs still. Ajax Dani, a fantastic player. He's been around the block. He knows how to win. He knows how to see games out. Chris, on the other hand, has been very unlucky this year. He's been to finals, he's been to qualifiers, and he's just been knocked out at the final stage. Last week, in fact, he was distraught. He lost 2-1 against Lucas Rep in that console final. The winner did book their place to London. Suarez looking to get Dani right back in the game.
Lucas Rep, of course, the winner in Miami as well in the FUT Champions. Solid Brazilian player. Kante to Messi. Dani might be looking for an equaliser here. Oh, Walker just dragged it over. Oh, he was just off centre as he got the shot away, kind of falling backwards. Oh, that's a wonky kick out from Courtois, but it went to Marcelo. Dembele, one of the changes, and we've been seeing a lot more of.
What a player is that team of the season? Ousmane Dembele, 5-star skill, 5-star weak foot. It enables him to go on either side.
Has to be Marcelo. I think a little tug. I think there was a little tug there which slowed him down. Should have been 2 there. Goals continue to fall. Would you believe it is now 5-0? Expectsporting 5-0. Count that. That's 5 goals. Yes, 5 goals in the 56th minute.
But this is the first leg.
Outstanding. This is a semi-final.
Figures.
You don't often see scores like this.
Especially against a player of Aggie's reputation as well.
Defensive reputation, yeah, it's incredible. Chris has got the ball back here. Suarez tries to slip it through. He's got lucky with the rebound. It's fell back to him, but Marcelo got his foot in the way, and Messi clears the danger. As Dani still tries to work it. Still much tenser affair. This is what you'd be expecting from both legs, actually. Suarez, real good chance here to slip Ronaldo through. He might go it alone. Lays it back to Messi. He can hit him. It's hit Suarez, would you believe it? Messi's shot into Suarez.
If that
still managed to get the shots away.
Would have gone in from Luis Suarez. We would have been out of our seats. The headsets would have been off and we'd have been surrounding New York, Chris.
Shirts over their heads, bellies on show a lot. I'm not sure anyone who wants to see that on camera, that's for sure. But here we go, Dani working it through, chance for an equaliser, just goes messing. David Luiz has been huge in everybody's defence so far, actually. He's been the V-Rock at the back there. Courtois with an easy save. Just 10 minutes to go here in this first leg. Remember, we will have a second leg to follow this one. There'll be a short break in between those matches for the players, but of course you guys at home can stay glued to the screens because we're going to show you the highlights of that other matchup.
Yeah, I mentioned it before the game started. Is New York City Chris, his play style, they've not really matched up against each other, I imagine, at all this year on FIFA. Could that be coming into effect here against Dani? Because he's not been able to impose that attacking threat that he usually does face. Chris has just been solid at the back.
Well, Barcelona managed to come back from a pretty big deficit in Champions League this year. Can Aga do the same? Who knows? At the moment, Dani just trailing 1-0. The header coming across will be collected by Courtois. And now the counter. Big throw out. Ronaldo chests it down a little heavily. Messi does manage to win it back, though. The break still on as Kante works it through the middle to Suarez. Tries a big through ball. Dembele's not going to reach that one.
How ironic that it was against PSG, who that comeback was against from Barcelona as well. So PSG, Aggie will be looking...
Neymar was a big part of it.
Yeah, he will be looking to perform a miracle here in London if he has any chance of turning over that 5-0 scoreline.
Do the goal before the end of it, and at the moment it doesn't look like it's happening. There's, what, 13 minutes to go in that game, so clearly he's had a long time to look at what exactly is going on. Right here, though, we just have a couple of minutes left. Chris breaking through. Can we see a final chance? No, it doesn't look like it. 3 minutes on the clock. Modric through the middle to Suarez. Dani was playing without pressure all day long. Already qualified for the FIFA Interactive World Cup. Apologies to Gorilla. I know he hates the abbreviation of FIWC, but has been forced on me throughout the year. But 1-0 is the score. Chris leading in the first leg. It's not a big score, that's for sure. Could certainly be turned around, but the other game, which is still in the last 12 minutes to go, standing at 5-0, Richard. Where do we see? Let's talk about Chris versus Dani to begin with, of course.
I think that Dani, if he wants any chance of getting back into this game, he needs to start playing the way that we know he can play. Chris has just been solid at the back. He got that one chance, really. I can't think of any other chances that did fall his way. It was Dele Alli slotting it home, and that was probably his most attacking player, I would say. The chance here, Lionel Messi, he spotted the run of Dele Alli just in behind. That artificial intelligence proving so strong. The attacking run in behind, slipped him in. Dele Alli slots it home, and that was the only real chance to write home about in this game.
Solid finishing, of course, as well. So Dele Alli puts Chris 1-0 up, representing New York City. Let's get across to the other game that's going on. That hasn't quite finished yet. You can see it is a devastating scoreline right now for Expectsporting, representing Bromby against Paris Saint-Germain's Aga, August Rossemeyer, the 2014 FIFA Interactive World Champion. And as it stands, it's not looking like he's going to be able to defend that title from long ago.
So I'm trying to think, in this game, why has this result come about? Maybe Expectsporting just being too strong for Aga. Maybe Aga, could you say, he's underestimated his opponent going into this game. Like, there has to be something in the mindset of Aga that's caused this result, because you don't lose 5-0 when you are a player of this quality.
I mean, you do sometimes just get those chances. We saw, I think it was the second goal, was just a massive defensive bundling error. Are we going to see a return? A second little glimmer of hope coming out of Aga? Doesn't look like it. It was safe defensive work from Expectsporting, and he's on the break here. Pogba can cut back out wide. That's a good ball. It should get cut out by the defender. Sergio Ramos will play it back very much easily as he clears it out just over the head of Ronaldo.
Aga now, in this second leg, it is doable, because we saw 5 goals get scored then. It is an aggregate scoreline, so if he can score 5 goals and force a golden goal situation, we're looking at him now. He's shaking the head. He's clearly devastated with that performance, but if any player can get back into it, it is Aga.
Let's look at the goals. I mean, this we saw. It's a standard cross-shot goal. Ronaldo scored them all day, every day, won't he?
Yeah, standard finish from Ronaldo. This second goal is the one that...
This is a massive defensive error. Look, he wins the... we saw it a lot back there. Neymar loses it. Ramos gets it, loses it to Ronaldo. And then finally, David Luiz flings himself in front of it. He knew what was coming.
Yeah, that was a defensive error. But this third goal is an absolute...
It's brilliant.
Beautiful strike from Lionel Messi.
Yeah, Ronaldo running it down the wing. Strength there. Just bustled off, I think it was Modric, actually. And Messi, yeah. I mean, that's just perfect.
And a lot of players don't use Messi. They'll decide to use George best if they're on their Xbox. They might venture out into other leagues, but he just does the business for you when you need him to.
Here's the 4th goal coming through. Another defensive error. David Luiz couldn't clear his lines, and Ronaldo, yet another cross shot.
Looking back at the highlights just after not seeing the scoreline, you've got to think maybe, unfortunate, the scoreline is...
Oh, this is looking good. Oh, yes. Messi straight through the middle. I think his head had gone there.
55 minutes gone on the clock as well. That could have potentially been 7-8 if Expectsporting would have kept up that performance. But he needs to not take the foot off the gas, because if Aga gets 1-2 goals in that first 25-30 minutes, we have got a game in his hands.
I like your confidence. I'm not sure everybody else is on the same wavelength. Remember Barcelona. That's what we're going to be saying. See if they can come back against them. Paris Saint-Germain trying to work some magic in there. But right here, Chris versus Dani stands at 1-0. Chris just holding the lead. The American represented, the only man here representing the United States now. Obviously, New York City, one of the MLS teams, one of the newer MLS teams, actually, not too old, but certainly got themselves invested early in Chris, a.k.a. DIDYCHRISLITO. Yeah, he's all about the goals, but it was a pretty tense affair. Dani, of course, finished the group on 13 points himself, only second on goals scored against Expectsporting, and drew 2-2. Actually, was 2-0 up against Expectsporting. So
yeah, it's
certainly we're seeing the level of competition here on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I think that was something that Spencer alluded to before the game started, that the PlayStation just seems to have edged maybe the Xbox in this group format, that it's a lot tenser on the PS4, the PSL. What's that?
Is that a PS4? Maybe you know more than I do. Maybe there's I don't know. Maybe wasn't it the PSX at some point? I don't know. They're going the Xbox X way. I don't know. But either way, it is into the second matchup, the second leg. It is 1-0 currently on aggregate to Chris. Ronaldo breaking through for Dani already. Gets the full shot, cuts it across. Oh, so close. Courtois came off and collected.
This first goal in this game is absolutely huge because if Chris gets it, extends his lead 2-0 over the course of the two legs. I can't see him conceding 2 goals because his defence has been so strong all tournament long. If Ajax Dani gets it, let's then see how much defensive capability and mental strength that Chris has got.
Well, this is continuing. Of course, Expectsporting 5-0 up on Aga. That's just kicked off as well. A big lead, big deficit. Ronaldo bustling his way through. In the end, the defender passed it back to the keeper and made it safe. Modric over the top, not going to reach Ronaldo, Suarez, sorry. She was looking for. Well, Aga, ladies and gentlemen, has scored early on.
Is it going to allude something before the game started?
Is it going to happen?
Are we about to see the greatest FIFA comeback in history potentially happen right before our eyes?
I do recall talking to someone before. They lost 4-0 before and then brought it back 7-0 in the next leg. It can happen. You can see a lot of goals in this game, but momentum is a massive part of it. I can't expect Expectsporting to give away such a deficit, but you never know. Right here, though, on your screens, Chris trying to push on through. It's a good counter-attack here. He's got Messi in the middle. Suarez! Oh, De Gea comes off his line. He's still out the goal. Oh, it's in the top bins. And you hear what it means to Chris. The goalkeeper well off his line, and it makes it 2-0 on aggregate.
Yeah, did he, Chris? New York City, Chris doubles his lead. I thought the chance had gone. If dropped to Ronaldo, left foot, finesse shot, past the goalkeeper, top bins. And you heard the roar from Chris. That's how much it means to him. Ajax Dani is in a position we've not seen him all tournament long. Let's see how he bounces back from this.
Yeah, suddenly pressure on him. This is the first time he's really felt that pressure. Big Chris representing New York City. I know Chuboy is going to be sat at home cheering on right now, waving his New York City scarves, jumping around as much as he can. And of course, aggregate-wise, it is 2-0 at the moment. You can see it in the top left-hand side of your screen. The score below it is the second leg score, which is Chris obviously leading 1-0 in this matchup.
Yeah, I think this tournament in general means so much to Chris. I spoke to him last week. He felt so hard done by in that FIWC American qualifiers because he felt as though he was the better player in his final when he did lose out to Lucas Rafsou. For him to get maybe a second chance, a bit of redemption potentially, if he does proceed to the console final and win, it's absolutely huge for him, and he's going all the right ways about it.
Dele Alli with a great ball over the top there, finds its way to Messi, back to Ali as he works his way down the left. Oh, that's a poor pass though, given away cheaply to Modric. Dani breaking down the left wing. Suarez back to Marcelo, and he gives it away just as cheaply to Kyle Walker. Some uncharacteristic mistakes being made here. As Walker cuts through, he's got Messi, he's just leading the line at the moment. Cuts it back to Suarez, can go for a shot here or lay it off to Ronaldo. Oh, and it's hit the back of Messi. Yeah,
that was very, very unlucky there for Chris because Luis Suarez, right foot, 98 rated Team of the Year card. You've got to think that's going in. A good angle to take the shot on, fired it across the goalkeeper, and he can't let a chance like that get to his head because it's the small margins that really dictate this game. It's all about keeping your mental composure, keeping the game steady. Beautiful bit of skill there from Chris.
It's the crosses, you never see them go in. It's not FIFA 16, that would have been in, no problem. It does differ game to game, and crosses were huge in 16, not so big in 17, but that's a brilliant through ball for Messi. The question is, can he get any support? He tries to flick it over the head, and well read by Chris there. Knew what he was going to have to do. That's a great return ball for Kante. Kante onto Suarez. Kante charging through the middle, bustled off by Ramos though.
Yeah, what a player he is, that 96 Team of the Year Ramos. Unbelievable, well-rounded card. Pace, defending, physical, the aggression, the composure of a defender like him. He's a mainstay in everybody's team, PlayStation or Xbox. You're going to see him used.
Messi looking for Suarez through ball. Ronaldo's available ahead. He goes back to Ali. He's been a key part of Chris's team, Dele Alli.
They got man of the match last game as well. The only goal scorer, they're picking up that golden ball, the man of the match award. Ajax Dani could have a chance here though. Ronaldo just going to keep the ball, keep recycling it, wait for the perfect opportunity.
Big chance there for Suarez. Going to try and turn, looking for Messi to run through. Thought about the back heel shot, and
yeah, the
you
size.
even heard the sigh. You knew exactly what he was going to try there. Just instead hit the run button a little too hard.
Yeah, he made the space with the skill move as well. The heel-to-heel flick gave him a yard, 2 yards of space, and you have to feel for him a little bit there because he did all the hard work. All he had to do was turn it onto his right foot.
Ronaldo, he's going to try and cut it back. Messi's made himself available. Gone a little too far forward though. Marcelo was there for the shot, but Dani there in the defence. Well, that was a lunging tackle on the wing. Another one goes in. We're starting to see some heavier tackles. 2-0. The score still stands for Chris as he works his way through. But again, it's blocked off. Dani is going to start thinking he needs a goal soon, just before the halfway marker. The other game still standing at 1-0. 5-1 on aggregate to Expectsporting. Ronaldo to try and cut it back again. Walker does perfectly well to block it off, and the counter-attack chance as Ronaldo strides forward.
He's going to get
it down to
David Luiz.
He should be able to beat him off. No, David Luiz holds strong.
Yeah, that team of the season, David Luiz card, unbelievably quick. I think he's got like maybe 85, 86 pace on his card, so to be able to keep up with Ronaldo, not only to keep up, but to get the ball off of Ronaldo.
Muscle him off.
Yeah, it shows great strength in that item.
Well read there by Dani, but he's lost out. Modric to Suarez. Suarez cuts inside. There's options available. He's got to cut it back. Oh, no one's there. He's gone to Modric. Ronaldo, can he turn? No. Kante manages to get involved and casually turns it out and gets a goal kick out of it. It's half-time. Chris leads 2-0 on aggregate, 1-0 in the game in the first half.
Yeah, New York City Chris got to be the happier of the two players going into half-time. He's 45 minutes away from being in that console final, where he'll be 2 legs away from the FIWC, the FIFA Interactive World Cup Grand Final later on in the month.
And you can see there, everybody crowded round. Let's have a look at the other match. Of course, we saw Aga versus Expectsporting ended 5-0 in the opening matchup, but here you can see Expectsporting with the chances. This is actually Chris's goal early on. Solid goal from Chris. That was Chris's early goal. Solid finisher. We thought he made a mistake there, but he managed to get the goal in. But of course, Aga versus Expectsporting. That is, of course, 1-0. We did see Aga scoring in that one off the screen as well. So
he's got 45 minutes to score 4 goals.
It's possible.
It definitely is. We saw 5 in 50,
Barcelona
53 minutes.
Did what, 3 in 6 minutes? Or something? 3 in 10 minutes? Well, Liverpool did 3 in 6 minutes back in 2005. I was right there in Istanbul, cheering on loud and proud. But right here in the studios in London, it's Dani with a big chance, and a good shot finish from Ronaldo makes it 1 apiece in the game and 2-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, Dani right back in this game. That's exactly what he needed if he wanted to get back into this second leg. An early goal in the second half. See, shake of the head from Chris. He can't let this affect him now. He needs to keep calm, because Dani is a steam train. He will just keep on going. It doesn't affect him because he's already in that grand final. He is playing for his own pride and to prove himself as one of the best FIFA players.
And the money.
and the prize pool.
And the money. He'd be happy with that money, that's for sure. So, chances, we will see. There's been a goal in the other game. Well, let's get back to that in just a moment. As we see Dani working his defensive play. You can see it is Expectsporting with absolute cracker.
What a finish that is.
That was about a 30-yarder.
Does that seal the game?
Luis Suarez, well, 6-1. You've got to think that's all over. Surely, a lot of work to do for Aga. He's got to go for it. He's got to go for it. But Dani, who is going for it here, chasing a 2-1. Messi turns it. Oh, little shot! Kante with the slide. It's 2-1. And well, on aggregate, that makes it all square. 2-2.
Yeah, what a
second
half performance from Ajax Dani. He's come out flying in the second half. I thought he'd overplayed it, but caught just on his line, and you've got to be asking questions of the goalkeeper.
The flying kick finish coming from Kante.
Imagine Kante as well scoring the goal to get back into the game. He's supposed to be back helping the defence, but that team, 92 rated player of the year, team of the season, Kante card, can do anything. Unbelievably well-rounded card, part of the so-called Hullet gang, every stat above 80. So he can do anything, and he's proven it, scoring the goal to get back in the game. It was
one of those cards, and obviously there's a lot of these that came out after FUT Champions, which is a delight that we're seeing these at the FIFA Interactive Club World Cup, that we do get to see these cards in action As soon as Kante came out, everyone was like, everyone's going to use that. Everyone's going to use that. Suarez.
Still
Suarez.
alive.
Oh, he's got it! Chris has nicked one back in the 58th minute. It's 2-2, and that makes it 3-2 on aggregate now to Chris. He's back in the lead.
Yeah, and it was Luis Suarez slotting it home, celebrating with the Danny Sturridge. Danny Sturridge celebration, 3-2 right now, and we've seen 3 goals in this second half of FIFA in probably, what, 3 minutes real life time? You can't call this game.
Suddenly it opens right up. Luis Suarez, with a little help, I would say, defensive errors from Dani, and that's what these games can be based on. Just a couple of small human errors could certainly make the difference. Big slide tackle there. Ronaldo's won it back, but he can't really cut through. Modric will play it off to Kante, and well, his former player Kante to Dembele. Down the left wing. Bags up pace if he needs it.
It's fresh as well.
Pushes
fresh
it forward
substitute.
to Suarez. He's got Ronaldo in the middle, so it's an adventurous ball at best. He could go for a long ranger from Kante. Lays it into Ronaldo. Off to Messi. Oh! It's 4-2, ladies and gentlemen, to Chris on aggregate. And it's that wonderful celebration.
Yeah, that is the New York City Chris celebration. Whenever he can, he will do that celebration. He gets his 2-goal pushing back. And it's all back on Ajax Dani now. This is where we started. 2 goals to nil is the gap in between the two sides, and what is it? 64 minutes gone on the clock, so not a lot of time for Ajax Dani to score 2 goals and force a golden goal.
Well, this game in the second half has certainly livened up. 4 goals so far. Is there more? Dani chasing the game once again. You saw what it meant to him when he got those goals early on, the celebrations, the cheers. Chris this time a little muted. Cheered on his 3rd, but really quiet, really respectful, I would say, of his opponents at the moment, as Suarez works it down the wing once again. Back to Dele Alli, keeping the possession as well, remember. He is ahead 4-2 on aggregate.
Obviously doesn't want to time waste, but time management, keep the ball in good areas, slow that clock down. It's almost like he's turned the egg timer now on Ajax Dani's tournament. And that sand slowly sliding away for Ajax Dani. As that time ticks down, less and less opportunities will be coming for him.
I should point out there is actually rules against time wasting in this tournament. Mainly defensive time wasting rather than attacking time wasting. Not that we've seen any of it at all throughout this tournament anyway.
Chris is just going to want to get another one.
Yeah, he wants goals. He's goals hungry. I don't think he's ever one that's going to time waste. He's just going to keep hunting those goals and see if he can get more. But Dani's doing the same as Pogba works his way through the middle into Suarez. Back to Pogba. Nice little 1-2. Tried a second pass back to Suarez there. It was a little too much. David Luiz manages to wrestle the ball back as Ronaldo comes from an offside position. Yeah, if that ball 74th minute
would have broke there for Chris, it was pretty much one-on-one. I saw him on the bottom left of the screen. I think it might have been Luis Suarez who was pretty much in on goal if the ball would have gone through, and that's what Ajax Dani's going to have to do now. It's 2 goals to score in 15 minutes. He has to push players forward, which means there'll be spacing behind for Chris to exploit.
Keeper was out of position a little bit there. It fell kindly to Suarez. Oh, and it's deflected by Ramos for the corner. Yeah, the keeper came out. I think he was going to try and claim it. Got sent back in off the woodwork.
Chance alive.
Second chance, Ronaldo to try and put it back. Ramos clears. It's back to Ramos of all people in the box to Dembele. Oh, just wide.
I thought Dembele had just slotted that one past the goalkeeper. 12 minutes left on the clock. As it stands, New York Chris will be going through to that huge console final where they'll be 2 legs away from the Grand Final. And Ajax Dani.
I can't tell you, there's a very smug-looking Spencer standing by as well, who predicted both of these goals. Suarez! It's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. There is 10 minutes to go.
We have a game on his hands, Damon.
4-3 on aggregate. A little wink from Dani there.
We have a game on our hands. 10 minutes. I say at this level, you need to create the perfect opportunity. You can't rush the pass. You can't try and force an opportunity to go through. You can't play through a man. You need to work the ball and wait until you can take that perfect opportunity. Because it will fall to you. You always get one more chance.
Well, will they? With 10 minutes to go, Dele Alli back to Suarez, to Ali. There's a big chance over the top, and he could try and get out there, but it's gone a little too far. Kante tried to work it in for the header. It was just a whiff of fresh air is all he managed to fling his head at. Messi works it now down the right wing. Suarez Is it back? Nice work. Working the ball here. Suarez slides it to Ronaldo.
This
Modric
is the chance.
trying to work it through, but a good step in from Dele Alli. And now the counter-attack is wide open. Messi, oh, he's straight through to Ronaldo. Could go for the chip, could go for the driven shot, and he scuffed it.
He scuffed these lines there. He's completely... Oh, Chris, you've got to be feeling bad for him, because that's a golden opportunity. 9 times out of 10, Ronaldo slots that past the goalkeeper.
It was 3-on-1.
And this is the chance that we talked about. Ajax Dani, he's tried forcing it through a man there. Chris is going to come straight back at him.
No.
Try forcing it again, though. This is the pressure situation. You don't feel this when you're playing at home. It's in your own environment, in your pants, playing on FUT Champions.
You saw just how annoyed Chris was at that. He's 4-3 up, but he's still frustrated that that didn't work out. There's a foul, could get dragged back. It's going to carry on. 4 minutes extra time as Modric works it down the left wing. Marcelo goes all the way back, and it's a stray pass that goes to Suarez. Dembele to Ronaldo. He's got Suarez with him. Suarez making the run. He's going to chip it, surely. Oh, it's brilliant save, the header off the line. Oh, drama.
That's it.
At the end. Chris unhappy with the fact that he didn't get the goals, but it doesn't matter. He will go through 4-3. Chris into the final. I don't think he realises. I don't think he realises. He's just angry with himself. He's like, am I through? Did I win? You won the first game 1-0, Chris. You are through to the final. Just showed what it meant to him. Just so tense, so focused in the moment that he just didn't even realise he'd won the game. Oh, well.
You saw the frustration. You saw the frustration coming out of him when he missed that lob, he missed the chip. I think he punched the desk. He forgot that he won that first leg 1-0. Ajax Dani obviously devastated with that, but you see the adulation from New York Chris.
Oh, mixed feelings to begin with there. I guess that's the best way to fit. Here is on your screen. It is Expectsporting who went through 6-1 against Aga, and Chris who goes through 4-3 against Dani. It will be Expectsporting representing Bromby up against New York City. Chris in the finals. Let's get over to Laura and Spencer to break that down.
Thank you very much, guys. You can see there, Chris, he just didn't realise that he'd qualified, I don't think, and slamming down the controller. And then eventually when he realised he'd actually qualified, look at his face. He was so happy, wasn't he? Spencer, you did predict both of those, didn't you?
I did, yeah. It's going to be interesting when they play each other, though. We've got